What's up, everyone? This is Bacon, and this is a AFK Classic video. Today, we have a lot of exciting polls. I'm actually really excited. I've made some really big progress since I last had an update. And so let's go ahead and just take a look at that real quick and see what we've done. As you can see, I have 3 ascended characters now. I have Naruko, Crassio, and then Misha all ascended. A lot of these are, these are good heroes, except for Crassio. He's kind of just the one that you're kind of doing for the event. But the other ones are really solid heroes, so I'm excited about that. I actually pulled her just from a normal summon, which she's a really old hypogene, so she's not as prevalent as she was historically, but still pretty exciting. She's kind of like a dark Taline, pretty much, is how you can view her. And then I've gotten a few other ones. You can see you got some Palmer's. Palmer's a really good hero. I've got some Goran. Don't really know a whole lot about him, but he's high in most tier lists that I see, so that's cool. But today, we are doing some big pulls. Let's go ahead and see what we got. We got only 5 Draconis Insignias, hoping to maybe get lucky with those, but we'll see. We got 43 Time Emblems, and then we got 40 Stargazing Scrolls. Now, in an ideal world, 2 pulls from these Time Emblems would be great. Last time I pulled about 25 and I got nothing. Oops, sorry about that. With Stargazing, I pulled like 30 maybe, and I could be off on that. And I got 1, so can't complain too much about that, but I'm hoping to get at least 1 from there, and then if I'm really feeling lucky, getting some copies of my Draconis, hopefully to get, what is her name? Land, get her up a little bit, get a few copies of her. But, the big one is Liberta. I would love to get some more copies of him. And then getting my first copy of, I don't even know his name. He's like a newer hero. This guy. Looks pretty cool. Kind of like an edgy demon lord looking dude. Infidel. Sure, I'm saying his name wrong. But we're going to do that. I also got 19,000 diamonds kind of saved up. So I'm going to be making some pulls with that, hoping to get some more copies of some more Graveborn and Lightbearer heroes. I'm kind of weak on those sides of things. A few updates, though. So when you do Classic, you actually get to do a few events for new people. And one of them is Heroes Covenant. You can choose between Crassio and then this guy here. And as you level them up, as you do hit certain tiers, you get rewards. So you can see here, once I got him to Ascended, I got 5,000 diamonds. Once I get his signature items level 30, I'll get 5,000. Furniture, getting some stuff. I somehow got these before I got this. I don't even have this yet somehow. And then, yeah, so I'll make sure. And then once I get his engraving to 30, I get 5,000 diamonds. Now, it might not seem worth it to do this because Crassio is just kind of a very B tier, A tier hero. He's not anything crazy. But one thing that people kind of forget about is you get this early on. So a swap scroll, you can basically swap the Ascension, signature item, and mythic furniture, or the, what's it called? The Oak End stuff for a character for another one. And so once I have him pretty much maxed out for all those, I'll probably swap him out for someone else. A few good options would be Ivan, Randall. I don't believe you can do it for any Celestials or Hypogenes, so those ones will be off the table. Let's see. Honestly, those 2 are really good. The only ones that, Scarlet, I only have 1 copy of her, but Scarlet can be really good, especially for Guild Boss and kind of early to mid-game content. Jerome is good, but I don't think he's someone that I want to I need someone who's going to carry me a little bit. I don't think there's really anyone else here. You can't do it with Awakened Heroes, or else that would be OP. I don't think there's any other Wilders that I really want either. I think those 2, Ivan and Gerald or Daryl or whatever his name is. I don't even remember his name. Randall. I was way off. I think those 2 are probably going to be the best bet. The one thing that's unfortunate is I do have a good amount of copies of Randall already, so I might do it with Ivan since I only have 2 of him. But that's once I get to that point and I feel like I've kind of made a lot of pushes in the Mauler Tower and I don't really need Crassio anymore, so I'll probably swap then. But we'll see how it goes. As far as polls go, I kind of mentioned I'm kind of weak with light bearers, but I would really like some more copies of Jerome and Scarlet. More copies of him would be great. I literally just talked about him, but I forgot his name. Trisha would be good. I'm gotten a good amount of copies of her. I have enough of her for now. I've her ascended. And then Moose Man, I have a good amount of copies of him too. And then obviously Ivan and Randall are solid. Silas, Odin, he's decent. He's a good Graveborn, but he's definitely not like top tier by any means. And so let's go ahead and see what we get with this batch of summons. I'm actually excited. I'm hoping to get like maybe an Awakened or a Celestial Hypogene. All right, we got some more Mishas. And one thing, for those of you who haven't played Classic but have played Companions, you don't get as many scrolls. Okay, he's good. Probably won't build him up for a little bit, but solid hero. You don't get as many scrolls as you do in Companions, so that's one thing you have to keep in mind. Like, you don't get 10 free a day. I have so many copies of her. And so you're really just kind of saving stuff up. Let's do a Graveborn, see if we can get lucky. I actually don't have her, but I really do need her because there's a lot of times where I've really wanted her for the hook, and I just haven't had her when trying to push different areas. And so that's not a terrible get. And that's everything for the normal summons. So before I get into other summons, one more thing that I unlocked. Once you get heroes ascended, you unlock the Inn. So the Inn is part of Classic. This will never be a part of Companions, is my assumption, because what you do is you basically summon furniture, and you can get furniture for specific heroes. So you have a wish list, you can get mythic furniture, and then you add the furniture to their room. So you see with Crassio, I have 2 mythic furnitures here. And as you get 3 and then 9, you get certain abilities. So with Crassio, I actually do have 3 total. So let's take a look. I have 3. And so I get this extra kind of ability, and then at 9, I would get this one. Now, in Classic, it varies because, this is different in Companions, because in Companions, you get a lot of these abilities just by leveling up their star level. So in it's basically their divine effects. So they've taken these components of Classic and made it into the divine effects in Companions, which honestly, it does simplify the game, makes things a lot easier. You don't have all these different things you're kind of going towards. Same thing with the engravings. You unlock certain things as you level up your engraving. You can see here. Same thing, you kind of get like an additional part of your skills. And then at 80, it's just kind of extra like buffs for certain parts of the game. So they remove those parts in Companions and basically put in the divine effects, where you get those abilities by leveling up their star level once they're ascended. So a little more complexity, a little more simplicity, depending on which mode you're going towards. I personally, overall, probably like Companions a little bit more, because right now it just seems very cluttered. Because there's so much you have to kind of think about. There's been so much stuff added to the game. Additionally, you do have these, which you get from the Ghoulish Gallery down here. I'm not going to do it. I've kind of talked about this before, but Ghoulish Gallery, not my favorite mode. It's just kind of RNG, very RNG heavy, kind of annoying. But you basically go through these different waves of enemies, and you get random stats and buffs, and then you get these items, which you can equip to your hero, which are these. This is an example of one. You can see there's different ones for different types, and they give you different abilities and stat buffs. So that's one way it kind of differs. As you can see also, I have way more mythic gear in Classic already than I've had to do in 6 months of Companions, which is kind of crazy and kind of sad. I mean, I have several tier 1s. I have probably 15 pieces of mythic gear, which is more than what I have in Companions, or like what I have in Companions exactly. So that's one thing that is really nice about Classic, is gear is just not as pain in a butt to get. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the Stargazing, hoping to get a few more copies of Liberta. No luck. A tier 1 thing. Okay, we got one. Can't complain. Pretty sure I hit the Mythic Gear. Pretty sure I hit the kind of grace period where you automatically get it. Nothing. Nothing. There we go. There's a yellow. Nice. Not gonna lie, this guy's super sick looking. I don't know anything about what he does, but very cool. All right, we'll take that. And then what are the odds I get one more with my final 10? Nope. Not feeling lucky. Unless. Nope. Unless. Nope. Unless. Nope. Okay. So, not a crazy amount of luck there. Let's go ahead and accept this quest from my mentor thing. And let's see if I can get lucky with these final 5. I'm really tired of all these dumb insignias. Like, I just can't use them. I just feel like Draconis, for all players, but especially new players, is so miserable. Like who's going to go into the game and spend 5,000 diamonds to summon for these instead of your normal summons? Like, it makes no sense. This system is garbage. And I think most people would agree with it. All right. Let's see what we have at the end of the day. We could level up Rain if I wanted to, which I might. How many of these? We only got 1, 2, so I could level up her to Legendary, but not really worth at this point. Not a huge need. Nothing really here. And then I could level up Randall. I'm kind of waiting to see. I haven't any copies of any Graveborn, so I don't really see a point to leveling up anyone. You basically want to wait until you can get someone ascended to level them up. The only reason I have Odin at this point is because I couldn't level up like all my heroes levels until I had someone who was mythic, and so I had to get him up there. Let's see if we can get anything good from here. I swear, that dude follows me literally everywhere. And now I'm pulling Gwyneth in Classic when I could never get her in the regular and her in Companions, I mean. Absurd. Well, we got some more things, so maybe I can do a little bit more with this. Okay, we'll save that for later. All right, let's ascend all this one more time. Doesn't look like it's going to be much. Yep. I think I will go ahead and do Rain, though. Rain is great. Oh, I don't have enough. Never mind. I need a little bit more for her. But Rain is really good against Guild Boss and kind of those single target damage modes. She's horrible with like normal campaign and towers, so wouldn't use her for those areas in Classic. But she's really good with Guild Boss and really helps you kind of get like the max amount of damage that you need for it. And so I definitely want to prioritize her. And what's nice about her is I can actually get her from the Labyrinth store. I already bought her, actually. But you can buy her once a month, get 1 copy of her, so you can slowly kind of get her built up over time, which is really nice. And then we'll just buy this. And that's really about it. I'll probably make another video eventually comparing Classic and Companions, pros and cons of each, as I mentioned before. But that's my result of the summons today. Pretty average, nothing too exciting. I think if I'd have gotten something with those 5 Draconis cards, it'd been really fun. Or maybe getting 2 with my time cards, but pretty average luck. 1 pull for 40 cards is pretty much where you're going to get the gimme system where you just automatically get one. So can't complain too much about it, I guess. But hopefully next time get some more luck, get some more cards, and we'll see how things go. But thanks, guys, for watching. If you guys like this video, make sure you like and subscribe below. Continue making Classic videos. I've been making a lot of them lately just because there's a lot of content when you first start the game. Same with Companions. There's a lot more content. And it'll probably slow down as I get farther in the game and I'm not be able to push as much. But thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoy these classic videos. I've really enjoyed playing classic, kind of getting back into it a little bit. But I'm not going to give up on companions. Don't worry. I'm still going to be making content for that. This is just kind of in the lull when there's not as much going on. But thanks for watching. And as always, have a great rest of your day. Peace.